Why did you join Herbalife? Why were you attracted to this unique enterprise? For some of you, I know it was the products. You got fabulous results. Herbalife's dedication to bring the finest products available. The doctors and the scientists can possibly bring to us for our hands to take to the marketplace. Herbalife's always going to have the best. And of course, the best proof of the value of the products is the testimonials. For every testimonial we hear, remember there's thousands that we don't hear. We're in the business, yes, of providing products, but we're really in the people business. Developing customers who are people, developing distributors who are people. When people become part of Herbalife, they have this family kind of feeling that they belong to something unique, and that creates extraordinary happiness.
It takes all of us to make each of us successful. So each of us must understand how valuable all of us are.
Working together creates extra power, extra enthusiasm. There's an ancient phrase that says, if two or three agree on a common purpose, nothing is impossible. If you have a list of high purpose in your life, it pulls you toward the future. Purpose is stronger than object. What you want is important, but what for is even more important. So decide what you want, decide what you want it for, keep working on it. Here's one more, and that is the power of extraordinary performance. Take a look at your own performance, what you're doing, what you're saying, and how you're saying it. That's vitally important, especially if you'd like to be an effective leader for the future. Review your performance. And with the strength of the Herbalife family, with the strength of the training, with the strength of these incredible products, with self-esteem bursting out all over, with the skills you're going to develop, you're going to be able to handle whatever comes your way. I promise you that.
Yes. And welcome back to everyone on this Getting Started training. To my knowledge, most definitely one of the most important trainings that you will ever listen to. And if you have started and you're new in the business, I'm going to talk to you. What is the plan of action in the next 72 hours? Because the next 72 hours is crucial for you to experience the right things and to lift your excitement. And you know what? It's the springboard of your journey in Herbalife. And I want you to get out your pens and paper and listen carefully and jot down the next few steps, because I'm going to share with you 11 steps. It's a process of doing 11 things, and make sure that you tick every one of them down. And if you do that, you know what? You're on a journey of serious success, and you will start with a income opportunity. Most definitely, to my knowledge and everybody's knowledge that I've spoken to, the best growing income opportunity in the world. And so let's start with the first one. And the first step is schedule an appointment with your sponsor or your mentor. And you know what I do with the new members? I schedule this. I also take responsibility and make sure that I schedule with a new member this appointment, because during this appointment, you will gain some serious momentum if you do the following simple things. Now, the first thing is you get registered and you make sure that they've got the basic setup, and you make sure that they know what's the support structure. But what I do is I refer to this first appointment as the high touch appointment. And sometimes it's not necessary to be in the presence of the person. So you can do a video call or a Zoom call with this person. And what I do, which is very effective, I get to know this person, because this is a company of relationship. And this first appointment is so important to start up and build a relationship with your new member. And I do it through a system that I was taught in this company. They refer to it as the ikigai type of conversation that you have to have this with your new member. And you as a sponsor, you as a mentor, you ask that person 4 questions. What are you good at? And you write it down. The second question is, what do you love doing? And you write it down. The third question is, what do you think the world needs? And you write it down. And the fourth question is, what would you love to get paid for? Because if you've got this structured conversation with your new member, you will get to know their strengths, their desires. You will have a peak view of what he dreams to achieve with this new endeavor and this new adventure, taking up Herbalife membership. And that helps you to go to the next step and to determine the why this person is part of this. And then, important during this appointment, make sure that this person know what to do and what to achieve by when. And this is very important. Next slide. The next one is to use your shake. And you know what I want to say is, use your products and love your products. Because when I started doing the products and using the products, I lost serious fat percentages, and my power to weight ratio was seriously increasing, and that got me seriously excited. And as I said in my story, that, you know what, when you speak to people and you've got a product result, you are a very authentic person to talk to, and you will inspire people by talking about the products. And you know what? Look at the big 5, as Clint referred to that. You know, the shake, the tea, the aloe, the multi-fiber, and the protein drink mix. If you start doing that and using this core products, your product result will be absolutely unbelievable. But then, in this phase, place your first order and make sure that you teach your new member to place his first order. It is so empowering when a new member can do this process all by itself. And make sure that you teach him to place the order in such a way that he can go and teach it to somebody else. And this is one of the most empowering phases, where I can see their eyes lit up when they have placed their first order. And you know what? Then this whole journey of using the products and making sure that they start the business on the right foot. Next slide, please. Now, the third step. This is to me one of the most important things to do and to discuss with your new member is to make sure that he knows that we in Herbalife, we have this 90 days rhythm doing our businesses, because big events come in every 90 days, and it's so important for us really to make sure that we discuss this and make sure that your member knows how to go from 25% as a member and to go through and make get to the 35% level. And you know what? It all boils down to have 5 to 7 customers, and then you're on the next level. And that can take place in the first week. Discuss so that they know what to do, and then discuss the way forward to the temporary or the permanent 45 or 42% level, what we call the qualified producer. And they must know that in the next 3 months, in this 90 days, if they reach 2,500 volume points, they will reach this level. And then the ultimate goal, and this is the purpose of this, the main purpose of this conversation, this 90-day plan. Make sure that this person has got a clear view and a clear understanding of what to do, when to do, how much to do to reach the 50% supervisor. Now, what we do again, my average with the new members is when we discuss this thing, and we discuss it in such a way that they've got clarity of how to move from 25% to being a senior consultant and to move up to the qualified producer and to the supervisor, then you are setting this member up for a wonderful journey, an active journey in this company. But make sure, and this is a message that I give to each and every new member now, make sure that you are successful in these 90 days, the next 90 days, to get you and build your business with a team. Get 20 customers and keep 20 customers. Get 20 members that wants to build an extra income and keep 20 members. Because when you get your member to understand, when they end up qualifying for supervisor and they've got 20, at least 20 customers, and they've got at least 20 members, a team of 20 members, then this supervisor is set up for the next phase to be active and really to make the most of the career path of this company. So the focus is on the understanding and the main purpose of this appointment, and making sure that your new member has got a clear understanding of what to do for the next 90 days. And the outcome should be to reach this wonderful, the best place in this company, in this marketing plan, the supervisor level. So make sure that they know we work in a rhythm of 90 days. And as soon as they understand this, everything will flow from here. Next slide. And now they've ordered their products. They know what to go for. They know how to work, and they know that there's a 90-day plan open for them. And now one of the things and most critical performance areas for a new member to reach is to make sure that this person not only order the products, but they use the products. And make sure that, and I'm speaking to the members now, make sure that this new member know how to make the shake. This phone call, you will get rich of retailing, but you will become seriously wealthy if you teach them to follow up. And it starts, this lesson, this skill of follow up and client service only starts if you follow them up. And make sure that they know how to use the products, know how to love their products, and then have massive results. And to the new members, I want to say this to you, and seriously now, if you do this, it will advance your growth in this business and in your business exponentially if you get this, what I'm going to tell you. If you start with your business and you've received your products and you start getting onto this product, and you've got this goal of having the best product result, that product result will come in seriously handy, because not only will you have rock solid belief in the products because you've got a serious product result, it will make you authentic because they will see in your eyes that you believe in the products, and your story is the most powerful story. And make sure that you start your business with a powerful product result story, because the bigger your product story, the bigger your income, and the easier people will tend to believe what you say, to hear what you say, and then if you've got this product result, and you start with this in all earnest with your product result, make sure that you package your story. Now, having a product result and having your story package is such a vital tool of building a successful business in this business. Now, package your story is very easy. You start with your, and your story must be impactful, must be short, it must be concise, it must be dynamic. And when you speak and you tell somebody your story, and it's a well designed and a well-structured story, you cannot believe how this story will impact the growth of your business. And what do you have to do? And how does a good package story look like? You always start with what's your name and your background. And then you talk about your life before Herbalife, because people identify with pain and with emotions. And if you can tell your story in such a way that those people can connect, have this emotional connection with you, it is unbelievable. And then the next thing is the life after you started with Herbalife. And you know what? If you live a life and you picture paint the picture in such a way that they know who you are, they know your background, they know what your life was before Herbalife, and you paint the picture of the life after you've started, and then you end your story with what you see, because the people out there are hungry for people that live according to big visions. And this package or story is most definitely one of the most important tools and skills that you have to develop. You can have a short story, a 20-second story. You can have a 1-minute story and a 2-minute story. But make sure that when somebody asks you to tell your story, that you are prepared and it's a well-packaged story. Next one. And now, a guy like myself, not being on the social side of using the media, Facebook and these, I had this rude awakening when I was confronted because we're living in different times and very exciting times. COVID came, and all of a sudden everything was shut down. And while I was thriving on the personal contact and the high touch meetings with people, all of a sudden that was taken away because we were isolated. And then I stood in front of the reality of knowing that I had to invent myself. Now, if a 63-year-old guy can reinvent himself in the way that he is doing and the way that he is doing his business and the tools that he is using to prospect and to talk to people, then you can. But what I want to say about social media, and this is a lesson that I want to share with everybody, because if you're a millennial, it comes natural. because you are on social media. If you're perhaps an older person, this is the thing. Use the social media, socialize, and then share. But the company has been so geared up that they have this study material, this document. They call it the social media guidelines document on myherbalife.com, because you've got when you've registered, you've got your personal website, myherbalife.com, and you will see this flyer come up. And study the social media guidelines, because that will come in seriously handy, and you will know what is the right thing to do and what is not right to do. Next slide, please. Oh, and now if you see, I've got my button on, and this is one of the most powerful skills that you can learn. Now, first, before you can develop this skill, you have to develop the courage, especially a new member, to wear this button. Because I can remember vividly when I started, I referred to myself as being a professional snob. When I started with this business, my friends and my colleagues were asking me, how is it possible that you can, a person that had this big professional practice, and now you're doing Herbalife. And so I was in that mold that, I think I'm too important to wear this button, until I had the privilege to fly with now one of the president's members, my upline, to Cape, and he wore his button. And while we were going through the old rituals of flying, everybody was remarking and making remarks and asked questions about the button because he had this button on his chest. And I was completely amazed when I saw how many referrals he got, and how many prospects he met up and my leads that he got, that I then really started using this button. And you know what? This is the thing that I was taught by wearing this thing. The first thing is, you will always, if you wear this thing every day, you will start forgetting that you are wearing this button. But when you're going on and you live your life in a normal way, you get to a cashier, and this cashier asks you why. Many a times, I'm not sure what they're referring, and then I say to them, and this is your response. Oh, do you refer to this button? And this person say, yes. How do I? And then I say to them, hi, and I introduce myself. Hi, my name is Louwerens Swanepoel, and I compliment this person on something, a big smile, lively eyes, or nice hair, but it must be authentic compliment that you share with them. And then you ask, you are? And then the person says the name. And then I ask them, are you serious or are you curious? And they say, no, I'm serious. And then I ask them, how much weight do you want to lose? And they say to me, and then I say to them, you will not believe how easy it is. Give me your name and number. And then I take their number, and I always immediately take out my phone, and I take their number, and I store it on my contact list as lead, Sipiwe, and I say checkers, cashier, so that I can know. And then I promise her to get back to her. Now, you go back, you make sure that that you add this to your name list, and it is absolutely wonderful. Because this name list, you have to have the skill to add names to your name list, because when you start with your name list, you start with your circle of influence, but you know what? At some point, you will run out of your circle of your direct circle of influence, and then if you are courageous enough to wear this button, and I would suggest that you do, and you've got this responses, make sure that you add this name to the name list and that you follow up. Next slide, please. Now, as I said, the name list, this is one of the most important skills. And you know what? I didn't see it as a skill when I was taught this. Steve said to us, myself and Zanti, you must write out your name list. And the first day that we heard it, that night, myself and my wife sat on this bed, and we then put up a name list. And I will never forget that we put up a name list of 142 names. And when we reached 142 names, that wasn't the end of our circle of influence, but that was for us like a pivotal, a very symbolic number to reach, because we came back from the United States, and we were staying in Palm Springs, and they've got 142, I will never forget this, golf courses in that valley. And then we said, okay, let's have this as our goal. And we started using this name list. And, so you will work through the name list. And don't be scared to put people on your name list. Never prejudge a name on that name list. You write the name down, and you know what? You never know whether you are going to change somebody's life forever, some family's life forever. You know what? I've learned through my experience with Herbalife, my 16 years now in Herbalife, that one speaker said, "Why are you selfish with this wonderful opportunity?" Because if somebody would ask me, is this Herbalife, is this a good opportunity? And I will immediately say without hesitation, this is the best growing income opportunity in the world. And this speaker said, but why are you selfish? Because you don't share it with your circle of influence. And that got me thinking. And I want to ask you and talk to you now. You know what? If you scroll through your contact list, then I don't want to speak to this, because we prejudge people. Never prejudge people, because you don't know their circumstances. So put them on the name list. But then, one of the best skills to develop is to develop a skill of add to the name list. Because it's one thing to have 142 names on your name list, but then you work through this 142 names, and then what now? So make sure that you add consistently, and this must be a concerted intention, a process with intention, where you add and make sure that you add names to the name list, whether it's a button, whether it's a conversation with somebody. You know what? Because when you're part of this company, you develop the skills of listening to what people say. And if I hear this word, the dissatisfaction, then I jump onto the person, start a real conversation with them, and eventually their name will do. I never do the presentation there. I always just get, I am interested in them. and I don't start with a process immediately. Next slide. Now, the next, I want to show you this, and everyone on this call now, I want to show this PAAPC. Now, this is a process. If you get this right and you develop this skill and hone this skill, I can tell you without a doubt, you are going to build a well-designed life. You will build a rock-solid, sustainable business if you know this. Now, the first P stands for prospecting, and we spoke about the name list. That's the start of the name list. The circle of influence, your contact list. But to add on that name list, that is so important. Next slide, please. Right, the next one. Just go back. Yes, the first one is to have a list of prospects. But you know what? How do you prospect somebody? And now I've said when I talked about the button response, your approach. If you develop the skill of approaching people and develop the skill to invite people, your business will seriously grow. Now, the first point is when you approach somebody, be interested, not interesting, because that is a cliff, and this is a point where many people make a mistake because they try to come over as a very interesting person, but ask the right questions, make the conversation about the person. And if you do that, if you ask the right questions, they will feel that you are interested in this. And these questions, the answer to your questions will guide the type of approach that you will follow. Make sure that you invite them then. Don't do a presentation there. If you've approached the person, and the way that you invite people is critical, because the people don't listen to what you say. They listen to how you let them feel about what you say. So if you invite people and you're excited and they can hear the authentic note of your voice, they will come. Don't give them too much information when you invite them. Use appropriate scripts if you do it, through WhatsApp and many forms of other written types of. Make sure that you use the right scripts, and of course, one of the skills that you have to hone here is, what if they've got an objection? And you know what? We've got a culture in Herbalife, no problem. If they say, oh, sorry, I cannot come to this meeting because my child has got a leadership meeting, you say, no problem. And you invite them to the next meeting. But you must know how to handle possible objections, because the approach is so important. And what I do when I speak to people and I've got time, you know, the 4 questions that we were asking, the Ikigai questions. What are you good at? What do you love? What do you see? What do you think the world need right now? And what would you like to be paid for? That is, when I speak to people, that is the exact thing, and the answers to that thing is where I know how to approach them. If I want to see them as a prospect for Herbalife membership. The next slide, please. And then when you've got this person's name, set up appointment. When you're standing with them, if you've got the button response and you've got their name and their number, then make sure that you say to them, I'm in a hurry, I will call you back, and make sure that you set up this appointment. Now, there's different ways of doing the appointments. You know, luckily through this, we have reinvented ourselves through the lockdown, because now it's three-way calls, it's video calls. It is the technology is so friendly for us to use. But make sure that you've got an appointment and make an appointment with your sponsor and your mentor. And if you have a new a member on the line, and you are the new member, and you've got already a new prospect, then I would suggest that you make use of your sponsor and your mentor. Why? Because you will learn the whole process, the whole way of doing this appointments through what by the example of your mentor. So set up the appointment, and then the appointment must lead. Next slide. The appointment must lead to the presentation, and now the presentation must be seriously focused on what the person in front of you or on the school needs. If this person is interested in the products, don't talk about the opportunity. If this person is desperate for making some extra income, make sure that you talk about the income opportunity. And this is seriously important. Ask the right questions, and now have testimonials on hand, because sometimes people don't relate to you. But you know what? If somebody would ask you the question, but are there any teachers that were successful? Is there any non-skilled laborers that were successful in this business? Make sure that you've got testimonials on hand, because the power of a story, an authentic, true story, cannot be underestimated. And make sure that the presentation is clear, and you are working towards an outcome. And then the last one is the close. The next one is the close. So if you are on this page again, so you know how to prospect, you know how to approach people, you know how to set up an appointment, you know how to do a presentation, but now everything will be in vain if you don't get skilled in the closing phase. And I want to share with you, many people, if new members of mine, they do this most wonderful presentations about the products or about the business opportunity, but then they keep on talking. And I teach my new members the wait principle. Now you can write the word wait also like this, wait. Now the W stands for why am I talking? Very important in the closing phase. After you've done the best presentation that you have prepared for, remember the wait principle in the closing phase. Why am you talking? Because this guy in front of you, this new client or new member, they sit there with lots of information, and now they must work through this information so that they can come up with a decision. And sometimes we keep on talking and we are doing overselling, or we are talking ourselves out because they don't have enough time to make sense of what your presentation was all about. So and this is a very difficult skill, and this is keep quiet, shut up. Keep quiet, because you will see, and now science show, if you are in the closing phase and you keep quiet, the first person that will talk will be on the losing end of this negotiation process. Why? Because this person will either come up with a question, then you answer the question, will come up with some reason that they don't want the products, you can then answer the questions. So sometimes they come up with objections. Sometimes they come up with, say, I've got, a budget. And if you keep on talking, you will not answer their questions, and you will not be successful in this process. So remember, why am I talking? As soon as they start, whether it's a question, whether it's an objection, then you respond. And you know what? I was taught by my mentor and sponsor, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? If you sit there at the end of a complete brilliant process, you did a wonderful presentation, and this person doesn't want to become part of this business, you know what? It's fine. Why? Because another thing that my sponsor taught me, we want Herbalife in everybody, but we don't want everybody in Herbalife. We are not in the convincing game. If you've got enough testimonials, stories about successful people, and that person, whether you want the products and don't want the products to buy the products, it's not your job to convince them. Chris Thompson Sr. taught me that principle. We are not in the convincing game, but make sure that you were extremely prepared for that presentation, that you focused on the right information, on the right outcome for that person, because that is very important. But you know what? If they come up and after the testimonials in your profile, and that does not move them to either become a member or a customer, move on. Who's next? And then I want to go now. This is these 11 steps are absolutely the most important steps to take, and make sure that it is your business. You are an independent Herbalife distributor, and you can work through this process as fast as possible, or as on your pace. But fast is better, because that makes it that there's not an open-ended process and you don't finish it. Make sure, and this is what I always communicate with my new members and with my current seasoned members, make sure that you get your new member to go through this 11-step process as soon as possible. Why? Because after this process, this getting started training and process that you will get through working through with them, it will enable them with skills, the necessary skills to start. Because remember what I've said, one of the lessons that I was taught is start with what you know, allow that to grow. And if you as a sponsor and you as a new member, make sure that you work through this 11-step process in the first 72 hours, you can pat yourself on the shoulder and you are ready to get going. And then your business will grow. So I hope that this getting started really allowed you to have a bigger picture of what is the next 72 hours, the first 72 hours process that you ought to go through as a new member, or if you are a seasoned member, to get your new member through. And it was lovely being with you. You know, our goals, and I just want to talk about this virtual LDW, because our job description in Herbalife, if somebody will ask me the question, what is your job description, Louwerens? You as a millionaire team member, what do you, if you've got only one sentence, what is your job description? What is that description and that job, that single most critical performance area that will build your business, that will build a sustainable business? My answer will be, my job is to create active supervisors. And you know what? I want to make everybody, whether you are brand new on this call, I want to invite you to get your sights on attending this virtual LDW on the 26th and 28th of February. And I want to also, invite you to make use of one of the best support structures. If you look at this a screenshot now, and you make the most of this, the Breakfast Club, the 3 HOMs per week, unbelievable. And you know what? The HOM stands for Herbalife Opportunity Meeting. And if you want to grow your business, you'll make sure that you make the most of these 3 HOMs per week. And then, of course, make sure that you attend the Member Academy, because there are people knowing more than us. There are people with better skills as you and myself. And you know what? If you attend one of the meetings and you are in this teachable moment, because myself and Zanti always say to each other, nothing in life get taught. Everything get caught. And you know what? You never know which HOM, which Member Academy, which Getting Started, or which BBS will be that meeting that you are in the right frame of mind. That teachable moment will come, and somebody, a speaker will come, and he will deposit something, a nugget, that will really change and transform your life and the growth of your business. Stay near to the fire. Keep on, because we are so lucky to have this absolute wonderful support structure to our, for us to use. And then, of course, on the 24th of November, McKenna, she will be, I don't know this lady, and perhaps I want to ask Clint to go through this. I don't know, but you know what? She's a global expansion team, and I will seriously recommend, because you know what? She is the global expansion team, and she has acquired because the global expansion team is the engine room of this company. And you can listen to this lady. Why? Because she has acquired all the basic skills she can build a team. She earned royalties. She's got retail under her knee, and she can advise you on every single key performance area of this business. So I want to invite you again to attend the 24th of November, 8 o'clock at night, this opportunity meeting with Mashikaba. And then the getting started training, the first 72 hours, because it's so, many people ask me, Louwerens, but why is it that I have to attend the same meetings with the same purpose, with the same topics? Why must I attend this? I said it before, because you never know. Sometimes you will get a brilliant teacher, a brilliant guest speaker, but you are not in the teaching moment. And guess what? It will all fly away and fly by. But you never know when you will be in this teachable moment, and then these people will deposit things that will really transform your life. And like Tenjiwe Sibia, I know this lady. I walked a path with her, and you know what? Come and listen to her on Wednesday, the 25th of November. She is absolutely, testimonial of the product. She is seriously excited where she's growing fast. So come and listen, and come and be in a situation where you perhaps be in that moment, but you caught something that Tenjiwe does, and your business will transform. The next one. And then the most important thing is, if you did not go through the 72-hour process, this 11 steps, get back to your sponsor and your mentor. If you are a brand new person on this getting started, get back to your sponsor and immediately slot into this most vital 72 hours. And to all the mentors and the seasoned members, I want to say to you, good luck. Make sure that you are excited, and you never know who is this new member sitting in front of you. It might be the next Chairman's Club, the next President's team member in your team. It was lovely to be with you. Over to my host.
Oh my word, a huge, massive thank you to Louwerens. I've been taking notes, as I'm sure if you've been watching the chat box, the guys are so inspired. Everyone is so excited to have spent the last hour and a half or so with you. What a fantastic job teaching us how to get started, the first 72 hours. I want to give a massive shout out to the tech team behind the scenes running the show. And thank you everyone that shared their story today earlier in the Herbalife opportunity meeting.